Here we go. Game number 3 has loaded up. Spawning in the top right hand corner of the map, we find our red Terran player. It is Bulugulu. And he is facing off against the green Terran spawning in the bottom left corner. It is going to be Complain playing for Cascade 1 bet. Now, so far the games have been Marine Tank. Not a whole lot of Banshees. But on this map that might just change, because this is a pretty good Banshee map. So is King's Young Station actually, but so far the players have not really liked that. A little bit of back and forth with those Hellions at the beginning, and then the tank and Marines will get you the good position that you need. But pretty risky drops have been going on. But those double tank drops, the double tank drop from Bulugulu in the early stage of the game, definitely put a number on Complain. He fell behind right there immediately. And Bulugulu in this game, sticking to his guns. Gonna start at the refinery first before anything else. And Complain opening up with that barracks. And I do imagine he will follow that up with a refinery very soon, just like he did in the other games. And opening, both these players seem to be feeling very comfortable with. But now the barracks is gonna be on the way for Bulugulu. SCV is going to be sent out to scout his opponent. And actually so far Complain has remained gasless. Finally we do see the refinery being placed down. But we are going to see some opening Marines for Complain. Might even go for a little bit of an earlier expansion that you normally see. But the SCV of Bulugulu will be able to scout exactly what is going on. So far the barracks will be done. Immediately at that point he will reach that 100 gas point, and he's going to be able to start that factory, probably with the same SCV even. Get that going, just waiting for the last remaining minerals, because you need to start the command center first. Getting the orbital command going as quickly as possible. But the SCV of Complain is also going to find this out. The Marine is in production currently though, so it might still be on time. There's at least not going to be a wall off, and yeah, the SCV of Complain is going to get into that base and is going to get a full scout of exactly what is going on. Sees that there's one Marine out. Oh, a little bit of hesitation, but at least the factory was spotted. Even checks that there's no second gas being taken. So a pretty full scout right there. Did Bulugulu also get the full scout of the base of Complain? Well, he did see the gas, so he did make it inside the main base. But probably one of these Marines has the first kill. No, did it actually get out of there? Bulugulu was the only one able to kill off a worker. And the SCV of Bulugulu was able to return back home apparently. But the command center is now already going to come down for Complain, taking the advantage once again in the economic sense. As the factory gets added on, Bulugulu taking the tech advantage, Complain taking the economic advantage. And in a setup like that, you normally see that the player with the tech advantage will start to harass the opponent with the economic advantage quite a bit to equalize the SCV count. Because before you know it, Complain is going to skyrocket with double SCV production. So, let's see how this is going to go down. Banshee opening for Bulugulu. He is adding on that starport towards that tech lab. Cloak is even being started right now. But Complain already producing those Widow Mines, and Widow Mines are doing pretty good against Banshees. They will not kill them off completely, but just a few more shots from those Marines will do the trick. And we do also see a starport from Complain being added on as the first Marines make it across the map. But he has to be very careful with that. Those Marines are very much needed back at home once the first Banshee is done. But if that Banshee gets sent across the map immediately, then the Marines will be able to take some pot shots at it. And if that Widow Mine then gets into a good position, that's definitely a realistic scenario in which the Banshee can be taken out before Cloak even comes into play. But the Banshee is not going to be out. Oh, the scan reveals that the edge of that Banshee, but the Marines are not moving yet. They're still at Xel'Naga Watchtower. They will not spot this Banshee. No, it's just out of the range of the Xel'Naga Watchtower. Bulugulu really map aware right here, knowing exactly how, to what extent that Xel'Naga Watchtower is effective. But Bulugulu is going to follow this up with a Raven, not a second Banshee. And all of the army units of Complain are on the other side of the map. But already a missile turret does get started. Even one a little bit forward to protect his production facilities. And a Viking here just to make sure that Banshee is not going to do anything. Now the missile turret will provide vision of that cloak Banshee very early on. Well, it will get a few kills, 2 kills on that Banshee, but the Viking with the missile turret spread will get the shots off. And at the same time, the Marines are trying to bust down this wall. There are a lot of Marines out for Bulugulu though. And the Hellions did not get their shots off that they need. He really wants to get the kill on that supply depot, but the SCVs are being pulled off the line to repair that. And looking at the current work account, still dead even. A tank is out for Bulugulu. That really means that Complain is not going to be able to get any damage done whatsoever. And finally we will see that Complain will establish his natural base. Widowmine will get placed in position. The Banshee is trying to return back home though, not going to try for another round of harassment because, well, so far the defense of Complain was pretty impeccable. Now one Hellion does get sent forward to see if that natural base is already going to come down. He will get taken out by a lot of those Marines, and that should indicate to him that there is a command center for Bulugulu too. And in this setup, it's still pretty much dead even for both these players. Both players are taking a natural base pretty much at the exact same time. 2 SCVs lead for Complain. It's not the end of the world. Both players just going to go for Marine Tank. I don't believe that any of them... Well, the only upgrade that is being researched is the Cloak right now. And that Cloak upgrade probably not going to be all that useful. But Bulugulu is moving out on the map. This is being spotted by those Marines. There is another contingency of Marines here that could go into the natural base and get a whole lot of damage done. But will he be able to defend against this army back at home? He needs to get 1 or 2 siege tanks most likely on the high ground so he can cover that entire area. But these Marines and tanks can move in, and this is a beautiful position to put your tank. It will be able to shell away at the mineral lines, but it could turn into a base straight scenario here. The tank is not sieging up. The Vikings already landing because they want to get the extra damage done, but the Marines are moving forward. On the other side of the map, Bulugulu has gotten his tanks on this very weird ledge that can put him in position to shell away at those SCVs, but not sieging up just there. The Marines are, however, moving up into that main base, and this is going to be a full-on base raid right now. So let's see who is going to be able to hold on the longest. Supplies were dead even, but now the siege tanks of Bulugulu are sieged up. That bunker does get salvaged just in time. The natural base is just buying time for Complain right now. But he knows he cannot hold on to it any longer. 13 SCVs and 7 SCVs have already been killed off. And now the production facilities are going to be next. Marines are shredding through these SCVs so incredibly quickly. 28 have already gone down, 33 at the moment, and still a few of them are alive. Even the tank was taken out that was just rolling out of this factory, and only 10 SCVs are remaining for Complain. Yes, these tanks are still at the main base, and the economy is looking relatively equal, but this auto turret can be taken out pretty fast. Siege tanks have to be careful not to take too much damage, but 3 siege tanks against 2 siege tanks, usually 3 siege tanks will win. But still, if he lands the command center right there, it is going to be in range of the siege tanks of Bulugulu. But Complain is in a great position right now. Getting an SCV lead in a TVT in any mirror matchup is incredible. You are going to be able to just produce more than your opponent, and the type of units is pretty much going to be the same. So if you are going to be able to capitalize on that, it's going to be amazing. Also, air dominance for Complain, which means that he does not need any scans. He just wants to get... No, he probably just scanned just to see exactly how much is there. And a lot of the siege tanks of Complain are pretty low, but Bulugulu has to return back home. Complain can unsiege a little bit and move forward to secure his natural base. But as a response, Bulugulu has gotten his 3rd base started. Trying to get back into this game is going to be an uphill battle for him, because currently Complain has twice the amount of workers than Bulugulu has. So he is in an amazing position. Triple Viking will scout that those tanks are coming in once again, but the siege tanks already sieged up at the front, and you don't push into 3 siege tanks at this stage of the game. But more and more reinforcement will be coming through. The Vikings will be able to land behind this mineral line too. There's no missile turret here whatsoever, and more SCVs are going to fall. If they get into a tricky position, they can just lift up and get out of there once again. But another set of SCVs is going to go down, and he will start. well, he's still going to be able to maybe even pick off a few of those production facilities. But the Marines are returning back home. Oh, he's going to get stimmed. There's no SCVs here to repair. No, he has to give up. He has to lift up, and still everything does get picked off. And again, the tanks are trying to get into a good position, but Complain is already there, and that is not going to happen. Oh, this tank is in position. He needs to scan. He needs to scan right now. Instead, he is unsieging. Does not want to commit just yet, but he's giving up that position in this way. But a lot of Marines have been sent out across the map. He's going to defend with his tanks back at home. Make sure that Bulugulu cannot move in. And he wants to get the herd back at home, because he knows that all of the reinforcements of Bulugulu aren't going to be sent straight to the front of the battlefield. Marines are trying to deny the vision from the Vikings, and he knows exactly what is there. But more Marines, more tanks are being sent to the other side of the map. He believes that these two tanks are going to be enough for now. Reinforcements, of course, are also going to be present. Well, Complain has Stimpack already. Bulugulu does not have it just yet. This third base is going to fall. There's nothing that Bulugulu can do about that. The DPS from these Marines is going to be enough to get the kill on that. At least if he pays a little bit of attention to it, might be necessary. But it is already burning. No SCVs in position. That orbital command, the lifeline of Bulugulu, is going to get taken out. Again, the siege tanks of Bulugulu did manage to reposition, inching a little bit closer. These two mineral patches are going to be very hard to mine from. If there is vision, he's going to be able to shell out at those mineral patches. And what is there back at home here for Bulugulu to defend? Marines are stimming in. Those 3 tanks are not going to cut it. There's just too much Complain here. All the Marines are being dropped. And all of the Marines of Complain are getting killed off. Wow, that was actually pretty good for Bulugulu. But still, 20 workers down. Still, the tanks here are in a great position. They are very low on health. At least 2 of them are. But Marine after Marine is going to get slaughtered off Complain. He needs to deal with this. Get air dominance or anything like that. So, let's see. It looks like he's slowly inching forward right now. Oh. Excuse me. My throat is not working with me 100% right now. It's not as sturdy as it was because I have not been casting so much in the last week. But Complain just looks like he's had enough. He's moving his entire army across the map. There's not even siege tanks here for the defense. Does put one down right now. But Bulugulu will get into position. Bulugulu actually taking the supply advantage at this point. Not something that I expected to see. Army supply is getting closer. More and more SCVs of Complain getting killed off. The reinforcements are not going to be able to get out of the base because the siege tank coverage is good enough. Now he did try to get a third base going over here, but the Marines are now going to be in position. But at the same time, Doom drop inside the main base of Bulugulu. He's on top of the production facilities, and with that, well, Complain is already in a great position. If these Marines and tank can clean it up efficiently, he might be able to hold on here a little bit longer. But killing off those add-ons already a very big deal. And finally, these 2 tanks might fall. He just needs a few shots on it. 1 hit point and 50 hit points. That's not a whole lot. But at the same time, there was a drop inside the main base of Complain. There's not a whole lot of Marines here, and not a whole lot of minerals here anyway. But the Marines are fighting against those SCVs, and of course 16 workers were killed off. So now Bulugulu has actually taken the advantage. He has lost a little bit of his production capabilities. His barracks are burning down, but still, Complain is quite contained. If those 2 siege tanks were taken out, he would have a lot better time. But the Marines moving in forward once again. Siege tank of Bulugulu is going to give him a little bit of zoning advantage. But 14 more SCVs were killed off. There's a siege tank now also on the ledge by the natural base of Bulugulu, and Complain has taken another supply lead. A little bit back and forth going on here, but now a lot of Marines are moving forward. But the healing power from these medevacs is just insane, keeping a lot of those Marines alive. There's going to be the GG, and Complain takes game number 3, taking back the lead for himself.